Are the LA Chargers get some good news before this Saints game? And if you're new to the channel, we are Detroit Lions fans, but this channel is all about the Chargers. I even have a Chargers hat. Actually, link in the description for this. Everyone's got the round one. I love the round. I love the rope. But this one, link in the description, actually takes you to like the spot where there's quite a few of these. So check that out. Okay, here it is. The good news is the Chargers, while they're dealing with some injuries, they kind of got some guys coming back. So Joey Bosa, first and foremost, like everyone dogs on the guy. I get it. He's been injured. Like, I don't know. What's he supposed to do? He's just been injured. I know everyone's frustrated with him, but he actually says he's going to come back. He said he feels bad. He's let the team down over these past couple of years because he's been so injured, but he's actually going to be able to come back. Other good news is the wide receivers, Quentin Johnston and Darius Davis are out, but Ladd McConkey, DJ Chark, Will Dissly, Hayden Hurst, so tight ends even, they're all questionable with a chance to play. So there for a second, I mean, those guys weren't even practicing. They were out, and it was like, jeez, like who's going to literally be out there? They've got an opportunity to get those guys out there. And then the second thing is, second bit of good news, don't forget that the Saints, they don't have their quarterback. I mean, so I know everyone was frustrated last week with that game, and man, there were some costly turnovers right at the goal line, blown calls, stuff like that. I was like, okay, the Chargers are in a great spot. Plus, they get to go play a Saints team without their quarterback. What a huge break. Don't forget that. So their injury report for the Saints, Derek Carr's out. They've got a wide receiver and a guard out as well. So Olave is going to come back. But without Derek Carr, it's like, gee whiz. I mean, they can't do anything. They've lost 5 games in a row. This is such a huge opportunity for the Chargers to get back on the winning side. Because it's not who you play, it's when you play them. What's the other team look like? Do they have injuries? Do you have injuries? So in general, I know that the Chargers are banged up, but the good news is they got pretty much everybody has a chance to play. You've got your star quarterback. Let's go. Because here's why, and I'll show you this. And this is, I love looking at prop bets because it kind of gives you an idea of what Vegas thinks of the players. So, for example, Alvin Kamara, they have his over-under set at 51.5 yards, rush yards. That tells me they just don't think that he's going to be able to run the ball against the Chargers, especially with a loaded box with their backup quarter and Spencer Rattler. They've got Spencer Rattler's over-under at throwing at 181. That seems kind of high even. I would take the under on that. In contrast, you've got J.K. Dobbins. They've got him at 75 or 74.5 over-under on his rush yards. That tells me Vegas thinks that Dobbins is going to run the ball well. The Chargers are going to stick with that. Passing game might be a little weaker because of some of the injuries. Perfect. Because we've looked, every time the Chargers run the ball well, they win. Every time they fail to get 70 yards, it's tough. Usually ends up in a loss. Ladd McConkey, 50 yards over under. Love it. They think he's going to play and get some things going. Another thing that I think is pretty interesting in this game is that if you look here, we'll pull it up right here. And let me know in the comments your thoughts on this game. I think the Chargers win it 23-20. I think it might get close at the end, but I think the Chargers kind of control this game, beat Spencer Rattler. I mean, come on. You got to beat him. You just have to. Because look at this. These next 3 games that they have, Cleveland's lost 5 in a row. New Orleans lost 5 in a row. Tennessee, I think, has lost 5 in a row. So Tennessee is going to get up against Detroit. Every team that has lost to Detroit this year loses again the next week. Every team that's played Detroit, the next week they lose. And actually I got ahead of myself. You wouldn't play them the week after Detroit. Anyway, New Orleans sucks. Cleveland sucks. Tennessee sucks. Let's go. Cincinnati, I still don't know what you are. And then you hit a Baltimore. Then you kind of hit a teams that'll be fighting for playoff spots after this 4-game little stretch here. And we keep saying it. All right, you look at these 4 games. You have to win 2 or 3 of those. you just have to. You're 3-3. So if you win 2 out of the next 4, 5-5. You're 5-5 with a whole slate of games ahead of you that you can make something happen. So it's interesting how I know everyone's down on this a little bit because it's like, man, the offense is kind of sputtering. Injuries are everywhere. Bosa can't play. Everything's fine. You've got 3 for sure. I mean, must win games almost feels like it. You got to take advantage of these games when you can. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I think that the Chargers win this game because they're just going to, I just don't think Spencer Rattler can beat you. Can he make some throws? Sure. Can he score some touchdowns? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, can he win the game? I mean, there's 32 quarterbacks. Half of them, half of the quarterbacks, you're talking about the Goffs, the Staffords, the Mahomes, the Lamar, Joe Burrow. Then the other half is like, he's in the bottom of that. He is, I mean, you're talking about Gardner Minshew type stuff here. So got to be able to beat him. And I think they do. Now, I'm looking here. I got the Bobby Boucher jersey. I'm thinking about adding 2 more just movie fictional jerseys. I love the Will Smith jersey from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Academy. But Will Smith's kind of weird. Just is. So I don't want to do that. I love the Mighty Ducks. Let me know your thoughts, what you would throw in there. I love the Mighty Ducks jerseys. I think that was one of the biggest moments in sports was when they get their new jerseys and, there's just like, oh, the Mighty Ducks. And then you get the Anaheim Ducks like years later where you're just like, oh my gosh, the duck. It's just the whole thing. So love that. I'm probably am going to do that. So love Bobby Boucher, Bourbon Bowl, all that he did for that school. I mean, think of what he did for that school. That they had brown jerseys. No one was in the stands, and he took them to the Bourbon Bowl. Incredible. Oh my gosh. All right, let me know your thoughts. Barry Sanders. I hate taking Barry Sanders college stuff down. If you ever just want to, if you're bored, YouTube Barry Sanders college highlights. Literally untouchable. It was like the craziest. 3 touchdowns every week. Untouchable. 175 yards, 3 touchdowns every week. That was just like a normal week. Then, then some games he had 5. Like, Jesus, guy. It's unbelievable. Barry Sanders. What a legend. All right, let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.